Hi, I'm here. Dr. Brown. Oh, switch to Wi-Fi, Brown, or switch to your regular.
What do you mean?
I think we got you. Oh, you just got out of the phone to. You're looking good. You're sounding good. So
That's good to hear. Yes, that's good to
we'll we'll
hear.
go, we'll get the topic at the end,
Hmm.
but I think we need to heavy Ozzy and Sabbath content for a month or something. I don't know because this is really
It's big.
no, just
It's
a fun,
big.
yeah, a fun fact. What I've been hearing a lot is, what's Ozzy's solo, all the albums, and I'm gonna ask questions, Brown, to you, and we're gonna get to your favorite songs off the albums. And there's a lot of '90s. I want to hit all the Zach Wild off the albums I never even heard of. I started getting
Oh man.
into this whole that the Ultimate Sin album. I didn't even know
Yeah.
that. Did.
Oh
A
yeah.
lot
It
that
came
people,
out
you
1980.
know.
Yeah, it came out in 1986. It went to the top 10. It was a big one of Ozzy's biggest records in that decade. I mean, like that was also when Metallica was the opening act for Ozzy's tour that same year. And apparently it was one hell of a headbangers tour. It was also the
And so,
second record to, it was
people,
last record to feature J.K. Lee.
so you would agree that, and it's necessarily our personal favorite, but like the one years, it's been the one Ozzy solo song that you hear everywhere, commercial, sporting events, which is Crazy Train. But I
Oh
would have
yeah,
to
everywhere.
sound and say I would say within the last, I don't know, 5 or 10 years or maybe more, the song "Mama Coming Home" is reached a level maybe past Crazy Train. If you look at the numbers on streaming, if you look the Spot Crazy Train, and then I think number two is Mama
Mhm.
Home, Dr. Brown. So like that, I mean, I
Oh,
know
no
Mama Coming
surprise.
Home has been around. I know it's
Well,
been
this
around for all that time, but
yep.
I think it's gained another, maybe meaning to the song, like a lot of people has relatives or friends that die, and that song comforts them. Perhaps. What do you think on that? We have
Well, the
41 people
original
watching
since
right now.
good. Well,
We have
the story situation is that that song was originally written for his wife Sharon after he finally got clean off the drugs and alcohol. He said, "Honey, I'm coming home. The real man that you married is coming back." And now, obviously, we've seen since his passing and since his retirement prior, the song now reached a new depth because, in a lot of ways, he has came home to God when you think about it. I mean, and Sharon, our hearts and prayers go out to her. If you saw how she looked, it's like, damn, poor girl was heartbroken. She was broken. She was stricken. She was shaken. I mean, like, never in our
Well, did you see
years have
how?
we ever
Did you see? Go ahead.
saw Sharon Osbourne in that. Did you
Brian,
see
you got
what?
to fix your. You got to go. Brian, you got to go on start on your phone with no Wi-Fi because your internet connection's really bad right now.
I'm not even hear you, YR.
You're frozen on. You're frozen on the screen and you can't hear me. So your internet connection is not good right now.
Well, well, frozen.
Oh
I
man,
don't know
Getty.
that.
Oh boy,
I know I do not know why.
90. Saying I know you don't know why, but I'm saying go off your phone on StreamYard to the regular connection, not
And your voice is
Wi-Fi, and let's try that. All right, Brian, let's
yeah.
see. All right,
Okay, let me
it's
set this
sounding
up.
better already. It's sounding better already. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Loud and
All
clear,
right,
dude.
God, it's way different. God,
I
it's
know.
way better, way
I don't
better.
know what
Jesus.
I don't. I know that we got to check this computer. It may be a faulty computer at large here because remember, I was doing the dark soundscape live stream and the whole thing just lost the link. The data just went,
Yeah.
so I had to redo it, the whole thing over again. All right, so well,
Where was that?
go.
Where was it? What was I saying before we?
I think you were talking about the what is my favorite Ozzy album, solo album. Well, I have to say the one that there was a few out there that I enjoy. I'm kind of stuck between Diary of a Madman and The Ultimate Sin because both were incredible bangers. I know I had Osmosis for a while, and there's a couple of bangers on that song. But however, some of the rest of the album kind of drifted towards the mellow side there. Hence the last song, "Oh L.A. Tonight." But I think probably my two favorites have to be the ones I mentioned: "Diary of a Madman" and "The Ultimate Sin."
All right. So honestly, I would. Every a lot of people say, "Oh, Blizzard of Oz," because Randy Rhodes.
Yep, this
Um,
and "Crazy Train" as well as "I Don't Know."
but I looked at the track listing, and I honestly like. What's this? What's the second album?
Well, the first album was Blizzard of Oz. It came out in early 1981. And a few months afterwards, Diary of a Madman came out.
Yeah, I
Then,
think Diary. I think Diary of a Madman has better songs that I like on that personally.
yeah, Flying High Again, Over the Mountain, Tonight, SATO, and of course the title cut. And one of my favorites from that album, You Can't Kill Rock and Roll. Very powerful album it
Yes. Oh my
was.
God, I love that song. See, that's what I'm saying, Brown. And then, okay, what's the track listing for Blizzard?
Well, Blizzard was first. The first song start. Well, the first album. Let me excuse me. The album starts with "I Don't Know." Then it goes to "Crazy Train." "Goodbye to Romance," which was his "Goodbye to Black Sabbath." The instrumental D, and then it kicks in to "Suicide Solution" soon afterwards, the one that got Ozzy taken to court a couple times. Then side two, "Mr. Crowley," "No Bone Movies," "Revelation," "Mother Earth," and then "Steal Away the Night."
I don't know. I feel like the second album's better.
Yeah, I
What do
think
you
so as
think?
well. I think the second album is highly, mostly underrated next to the first one because obviously Crazy Train being played all over the radio
Yes.
and being covered by so many bands, including marching bands, percussion laced bands, and you name it. No doubt, almost every school choir, everybody out there was covering Crazy Train left and right, right and left. But let's not forget, he had other songs like "You're No Different," "Center of Eternity," "Thank God for the Bomb."
Well, hold on.
Also,
Let's. Okay, so we can count. We can count the tribute, the live album, as a Randy Rhodes album. So Randy Rhodes did saying now with saying that Randy
mhm.
Rhodes did three albums,
Well, Fisher
correct?
was just two. Well, actually, it would say two
Two
studio,
studio,
one
yeah, two
live, one
studios.
live,
Yes.
yes, and one live one. And that, believe it or not, here's the story about that album. That album was originally supposed to be "Speak of the Devil," but however, Randy had just died in May of 1982, but yet the record label wanted to release it anyway. Ozzy said, "No, I'm not going to cash in on the death of a dear friend." So they had the tapes put away to the point where he actually forgot they were still there. And in its place, "Speak of the Devil" came out towards the end of 1982, featuring Black Sabbath covers because apparently people were asking Ozzy, "Do you still do Black Sabbath songs? Do you can you do a Sweet Leaf or NIB and such?" And of course, up until that point, Ozzy was just doing Iron Man, Children of the Grave, and Paranoid. That's that. The rest was his solo material.
All right. So when First two albums. So the third album
Bark in the
is
Moon. Bark in the
and
Moon.
that and the guitar player on that was
Jakey Lee. The first
so
two
that
albums that he would do with them.
the first album the first album Jakey Lee did with Ozzy was Bark at the Moon and
Yep, 1983.
83. So we're still in the early 80s. And what were you doing? And we have 74 people watching. Please subscribe to this channel. We do go live every week. Please subscribe to the Dr. Earl W. Brown channel. He does
Yes, please.
weekend. Tell him about the DJ sets you do on the weekend late
Well,
night.
what I do is when I usually on Saturday nights I premiere techno sets on my channel, mainly because I'm still at my work at that time. But usually on Friday nights I do dark techno sets, live streams, and I usually do live streams of dark soundscape sets on Sunday nights or Monday evenings. And we got more. Yeah, we got 84 watching right now. Credit to you, man. Well, of course, obviously we got a hot
Yo, you should
topic,
say
and
say something in the chat under your account so they can go to it easily if you could, if that's easy for you. Well,
I'm
real
going to
quick,
do that now.
let's dive in the before the albums. 95
Mhm,
watching before the albums. Let's dive into the news. Let's do a
mhm.
few news bits if you want to just run down on Blabbermouth. Loud. There's other sites, Loudwire, blah blah blah, but I go to Blabbermouth a lot, and they've actually on one of my old channels they've actually put up and they link a lot of because I take a lot of concert videos, so they actually linked up the Dawkins concert video I
Yes, I
did,
remember
and
that.
they're pretty
Yes.
cool with that. You know what I'm saying? So I always go to them, and I'm loyal to them. But what is the new saying, Brown?
Well, right now they're showing photos from the funeral procession that took place yesterday morning, and here's something I saw earlier. I don't want to find. It says here Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins. I'm going to look for this one here, and here's another one from Tom Kiefer, A Cinderella. Let me start off with Billy Corgan first, because as you may remember, he and
Yeah.
KK Downey did the cover of Breaking the Law back at that back in the beginning show there earlier this month. And says here the day after Ozzy Osbourne's passing, Billy Corgan, the frontman of Smashing Pumpkins, was a guest on the Klein Alley show on the KROQ radio station to discuss the impact the legendary frontman of Black Sabbath had on his musical upbringing. Corgan, who by the way is also president of the National Wrestling Alliance, just performed at Ozzy's final show in Birmingham, England, 2 weeks earlier. He said, quote unquote, the beautiful thing is there has been such a credible outpouring of tributes in the hours after Ozzy's death was announced. I've been sitting on social media, literally everyone I follow. I don't care if it's a clothing company, I don't care if it's a pedal maker. Everyone was paying tribute to
Wow.
Ozzy.
What?
They were, even country artists. Even country artists were paying tribute to Ozzy Osbourne. There was a couple of country acts, country rock acts, I should say, something that Keith would enjoy if he was still involved with the show. And they did their version of Crazy Train. In fact, here's something else. Lady Gaga, she was done with the performance, and then the loudspeakers start playing the song Crazy Train, and Gaga comes out with her dancers wearing an Ozzy Osbourne t-shirt. So she paid homage to the madman of rock and roll himself. Everyone's been paying tribute to the guy. I mean, even Ed Sheeran, who was a mainstream pop artist, he paid his homage. I mean, like, the man made an impact, no, without any question. Now, Billy Corgan continues, I think it's so amazing that he had this connection with people and you see it. I just went through the course a few weeks ago in Birmingham, and now to see this, it's even more overwhelming. Now, when he was asked if he had a chance to speak with Ozzy at that final show, he said, quote, I kind of let him be because there were so many people wanting to talk to him. and there were people he hadn't seen in years. And Ozzy's wife, Sharon, and I have been discussing ever since Sharon appeared on my podcast that I was going to go over to the house in LA and interview Ozzy. So in my
Yo,
mind,
Brown, have you watched or listened to any of those Billy Corgan podcasts on YouTube?
I did, yes. I
Pretty
listened
good,
to
right?
even
Like
on
very
thing, even
professional, right? Very professional
yes,
setup, and you know.
but here's something else. Sharon briefly managed the Smashing Pumpkins somewhere in towards the later half of the 1990s.
Were
But
they ever on
things
the? Were they ever on any Ozfest?
Smashing Pumpkins, I don't think so because Smashing
Hmm.
Pumpkins is a lot more lighter compared to the other bands they had on Ozfest, like Lordy or Pantera or Machine Head or System of a Down. Pumpkins is kind of like more lighter, if you want to put it that way. Remember, they drift towards the alternative side, more Lollapalooza to be exact.
That is true.
All right, there.
A little bit.
And now Corga continues and say, I'd like to share one special moment, though. I don't want to say what the other person is. It's somebody from a very famous alternative band. But when Black Sabbath sound checked 2 nights ago before the actual concert, there was literally nobody in the stadium except security, me, and this person from another band. And we were literally watching Black Sabbath do their sound check with Ozzy for the last time. Ozzy sat us down there and did the famous Ozzy sitting on his chair, but he did the Ozzy peace sign. This, which he has done so many times when he was involved with Black Sabbath and a few times as a solo act. And he smiled as he did it. And that's a moment I always hold on to because it was in that private moment where it was just us and the band, basically, and both in me and that other person. This is why I don't want to say who that person is. We both started crying because we couldn't believe this magical dream of this band in our lives was coming to an end. Wow. Now, Corgan also reflected on being introduced to Black Sabbath's music when he was about 8 years old. He said, my uncle was a drummer and he had very progressive kind of rock collection. And my grandma, for some reason, let me play his records. And the first record I had on the stack was Master of Reality, which, by the way, is considered a highly influence among the early grunge alternative rock
Yes.
scene. Yes, it
So
was. All
just
the
a quick fun fact, and I don't know how long they've been doing this, but I know I've seen in 2023, I
Mhm.
saw Smashing Pumpkins their own headlining show, and then the next year or last year they opened for Green Day,
I remember
and
that. Yes.
before they get on the stage, like while they're changing, while they're getting ready, they do play like shoot Brown like three, four, five songs off the Judas Priest.
Hmm.
What's the '79 album?
Which one
'78
there? There was.
album?
Well, there was
Killing
Symphony of
Machine,
what?
the Killing Machine
Hellbent,
album.
Killing
Help,
Machine slash Hellbent for Leather here in the States, as it was called.
yeah, I believe that's the one they play. Like they play. There's a couple songs on there that are kind of deep,
Hmm.
and but you can tell it's Halford. What's the one? The star, like Shining Star or Rising Star, or
Evening Star, I think it is.
yeah, you're spot on. Yeah, they play that. I mean, and I
Yes.
know that's Priest, but I mean, there goes like all these bands, even the '90s bands, like it's all about Priest and Made and Priest and Sabbath, bro. Priest and Sabbath, it's all about them, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But go back to
because
the Masters
because
of Reality thing. That was pretty good.
yeah, it was one of the great albums. If you haven't had a chance to pick it up, YR, definitely do so. You know what? It'd even be better if you were to find the original copy of that album because it came in this kind of like a folder type of deal, gatefold, I guess it's called. It came with a poster of the band alongside some tree and some area in the Birmingham area. I'm not too sure which area it was, but
Came with some
it's
tree.
it's actually they're standing next to a tree in this
Oh,
poster. Yeah, I got to look it up online. But that
very
was the
interesting.
main that was one of the main albums that influenced all these alternative grunge rock bands like Soundgarden, Alice in Chains. They all cite that album as a major player in their musical styles.
All right. Can you pick up the news on? Can you look at the news on? Let's jump over to the where Ozzy was buried, which is on. He has big estate, I guess, in Birmingham, a lot of acres, and actually is buried in his own property. So it's not like
Yes,
Diamond.
his UK
It's not like
mansion.
Dime. It's not like Dimebag of Any Paul, where the public can go to the burial, to the caskets, and all that, and have memories. At least they have the
Yes.
bench. At least they have that Black Sabbath bench that people can go to, and
Black
they
Sabbath
had
Bridge.
in the bridge. It's all like what I'm saying. So that's probably why you know I don't know. Like, where's Lemmy buried? Is Lemmy buried in L.A. or is he buried?
I do not know, I'm sure. The only thing I only know of that he probably is buried in the LA area because he lived there
Yeah.
since 91. And I know there's also a huge ass statue dedicated to Lemmy in the Rainbow Bar and Grill, which of course is in LA because he
What's
was a
everyone in the chat real quick? What's your favorite Ozzy solo album? Next week we're gonna dive into all the Sabbath albums, Ozzy related, and perhaps maybe another show do all the Sabbath non-Ozzy related. All right, because there's a lot
yeah.
there, and but there's so much. Let's dive into the. Can you read that article real
Burial.
quick? Yeah, the
Okay,
burial.
got it right here.
Yes.
Yes, he was laid to rest. Ozzy was officially laid to rest earlier today in Buckinghamshire, England. This was at the grounds of his mansion
Buckingham
located in
Palace
there.
at the
No,
palace.
Buckinghamshire.
Man, I
That's what.
wonder. Well, real quick, not to cut you off, but like, look, I know. Okay, so like, I kind of, and I kind of predicted it, a couple episodes ago about him might be passing away, and then did it back to the beginning.
Yeah,
But like, I keep
yeah. You
going back
called
to
it.
like, I keep going back to like, oh, they should, remember when Eddie spoke at Dime's funeral, and Eddie Van Halen did, and did I mean like I was like, oh, maybe, but like they kind of already gave us that with the Back to the Beginning concert, like all those bands, all the people we wanted to see and stuff, like they did, like Ozzy didn't want like a somber thing. He didn't want, sad.
He
He
wanted
didn't
to
want any
go
of
out
it.
on top,
Yes.
and indeed he so did. He so went out on top, and you know what? I read the link that you sent me. They're going to be reissuing that full show as a DVD release, I guess. But according to the Daily Mail, let me get back to the article here. The private service at the 250-acre estate was attended by Ozzy's family members as well as Elton John, who remember shared vocals on Ozzy's song "Ordinary Man."
Wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is breaking up. So you're saying they had a private ceremony,
Yes, private service
which
on
I
the
knew they
estate.
I which that was that was known. I knew they had a
Mhm.
private thing before they wrote out and what you saw on YouTube and everything yesterday morning. So you're
Yes.
saying in the price. So in I didn't even read the article because I wanted to save it for the show. So you're saying you're about to read me. They tell us who was there.
Yep, they were there. Yep,
Oh my
exactly.
God. Go ahead,
Yes,
man.
Elton John was there. Members of Black Sabbath were there, as well as, of course, Zakk Wylde, members of Metallica, Rob Zombie, and Marilyn Manson.
Are you
Now,
kidding me?
I am not kidding. I saw a couple of photos of Manson and Zombie at that private service, thanks to a Facebook page called Rock and Roll Experience. TMZ.com has shared a few photos of some of the musicians arriving at Ozzy's estate for the burial ceremony. A huge floral arrangement in the grounds of the mansion spelled out a tribute to the legendary metal singer with the words Ozzy fucking Osbourne on the banks of the
Yo, that's
Osbourne Lake.
sick. That's wild, Brown. That like so Elton John, huh? You think
Yep,
that
he
you
was there.
can can you know how they knight like the Queen knights people? Can they knight
Yeah,
people that's passed away?
I do not know, but I remember there was like a small campaign to have Ozzy knighted by the Queen of England. I mean, they
Uh,
did it with Paul McCartney, Elton John, George Martin, the producer of the Beatles. In fact, also, I don't think about it. I, but that was how Ozzy was. Like he was a larger than life character. He was a huge individual. He was probably one of the biggest, best entertainers out there because not only did he co-found heavy metal with Black Sabbath, he also did reality TV show. He also appeared in a few movies. The movie Little Nicky with Adam Sandler being one of them. Also, look up the movie Trick or Treat from 1986, where he played a pastor condemning heavy metal. I mean, like, plus the reality show, The Osbournes, and a couple others as well. I mean, like, the guy was everywhere. He was
all
all
right,
over the
so
damn joint.
all right, so let's get back to the albums.
Mm-hmm.
So when the second out, so before Jake DeMarco came in, or
Jake and Mark, Jakey
Jakey
Lee.
Lee, before Jakey Lee came, before Jakey Lee came in, um, what did they? Was that tribute live album released before Jake came in, or
No, it was the tribute album with Randy Rhoads was came out in 1987, and it was recorded in Toronto, Canada. And like I said, it was originally supposed to have been "Speak of the Devil," but I already explained the circumstance on what happened with that album, with that issue there. Of course, Jakey Lee joined in early 1983. He made his debut with Ozzy at the US Festival that same year, prior to the album coming out. And let's give Jake his due. He was one powerful guitar player. Now, the second album and last album he would do with Ozzy was The Ultimate Sin from 1986. As I mentioned, went to the top 10. And of course, a couple years later, Jake would
well, hold
depart
on,
because of. Go ahead.
real quick, back to the Ultimate Sin.
Mhm.
What I believe that's Chris Jericho's favorite album. Did you see the when Ozzy obviously made a lot of appearances in WWE
Yep.
cameos and Hall of Fame, I mean WWE Hall of
Yep.
Fame, but there's a segment with Jericho, and this was probably uh, damn it, Brown. It could have been like the 2000s or something because Jericho had shorter hair, you
Hmm.
know. But then again, when he did the list gimmick, he had short hair on that, so that was like 2010. So I, I would probably like predict it at like 2009, 2008 or something, right? But it's backstage, and Jericho is a heel,
Hmm.
and it's Sharon and Ozzy, and they it's really nothing. They didn't really say anything, and then you know Chris Jericho was being a jerk basically to
Yep.
Ozzy and Sharon, and so then he was
Yep.
like
That's how they do it. That's how they all
he
do it at times.
and then he was like basically, oh, uh, if you do that or whatever, that'll be the ultimate sin, you
Hmm.
know. And so he kind of name dropped that album.
Hmm.
And how many people are watching this right now, Brown?
Let me check here. It says here, well, it says right now 84 is still watching at the moment.
Okay, so there's 84. So again, subscribe to the Dr. Brown channel. He goes live. He premieres. Do you go? Is it live or is it a pre-recorded DJ set that you do on the weekends?
Well, on Friday, like I said, on Friday nights when I get home from work, that's when I go live with the techno set, the dark techno sets. And it's usually on Saturdays when I premiere some techno sets.
Oh, okay.
It's for those who are unable to get to the club.
when do you when do you make those sets? Like you create those during the week or like that same day?
Usually, well, actually, I do it in the middle of the week. Like for example, we could be done with this show in about less than an hour from now, and that's when the idea comes in to create one to premiere on Saturday or go live on the night before. That's how
Well,
I usually plan things.
this live stream at the end will have thousands of views.
Hmm. Oh
So
yeah.
we got to get. So basically, like next week, we're gonna dive into the Black Sabbath albums plus the
Oh
news,
yeah.
and
Yep. Hmm.
then the week after, we're gonna dive into the Black Sabbath albums. No, no Ozzy albums. So we're talking Dio, and we're talking who else? Tony Martin.
Tony Martin, yes, the 5 that he did with them.
And there's a lot more to that. So to dive into the Ultimate Sin album, and
Yes.
look, I think most people that I know and everything, they're big Randy Road fans.
Hmm.
But there's a lot of Jake Lee fans out there.
Yes, very
And
underrated.
he played that white with a black pick guard, Charvel,
Yes. Yes.
Floyd Rose and everything on there. Tell me about when
By the
that
way,
album came out. Was there a lot of
Hold on.
controversy, like with Jakey Lee? Did the fans like Jakey Lee? Blah blah blah. Like at the time,
He
tell
was
us about that.
badass. Well, Jakey Lee did not use any Floyd Rose. He never used any at all. Jakey Lee usually did with his
No,
kind
he there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff with him. With him, look it up right now. There is, bro.
whereas doing
Like the
with
back
the
to the
Floyd
beginning,
Rose,
he didn't have one though. You're right. For the
he
back to the
never
beginning,
had
he didn't have.
he never
I
had
don't know.
one
I
where he
feel
was
like
with
I
Ozzy.
feel like
Period.
I don't know. I feel like all the '80s guitar players had that though. And
Floyd
that guitar, that
Roses.
was a very like the
Zach Wild didn't. Remember,
uh
Zach Wild played a lot of Gibson Les Pauls with this particular design on it, whether it's bottle caps or that white and black target design.
what about the guitar player for what about the guy who's in Night Ranger?
Brad Gillis, he definitely had a Floyd Rose, that's for
Yeah.
sure, and he used that a lot during his performances with Ozzy. That's for
All
sure.
right. So go back to the
Which he
Jakey Lee,
did
your
pretty damn well.
experiences. Yes.
Hmm.
Go
Now,
ahead.
Jake and Lee, they did 2 albums together. Bark of the Move from '83, Ultimate Sin from 1986, and which went to the top 10, by the way. And in fact, basically that album's theme was nuclear war. Hence the song "Thank God for the Bomb" and as well as "Killer of Giants." Now, there were no ballads on that album because Ozzy didn't want to do any more at that time, because even just wanted to rock out, play some good rocking songs, and that was it.
Well,
Shot in the Dark,
what was the first ballad that came out?
the first
Because
ballad that Ozzy did.
I would say, well, let's list them all out here. Like "Mama, I'm Coming Home," "Goodbye to Romance."
Mhm.
Wasn't
So Tired.
Changes a Sabbath song though?
Yes, it was a
So we
Black
can't
Sabbath.
count that.
Yeah.
We can't count that
Hmm.
one. So list all the Ozzy ballad songs that you know.
Well, let's see up there. Ozzy ballads.
Everyone in the chat, please. Red Dragon Cartel. Yeah, we are Eddie Trunk fans. I'm on Eddie Trunk show like every other week or almost every week or every 3 weeks. I try to call in a lot. So
Okay, there.
and I post those
Let's
videos.
see
But
here.
everyone in the chat, give me your favorite Ozzy solo albums. Subscribe to this channel. Hit the like and then subscribe to Dr. Brown's channel. If Dr. Brown could go in this chat and say something, then they can click on it and subscribe easier. But Brown's
I'm
looking
going
up
to it.
the ballads, the Ozzy solo ballad list, what we're going to get into, which should be short, honestly. Shouldn't be no more than a handful of songs, Brown.
Yeah, I know there. I'm looking
Wouldn't
at
you
right
agree?
now. Yeah, pretty much a small one there. And it says here Now it says here song includes songs that are not really ballads, like Patient Number 9, Crazy Train, Ultimate Sin, or a Diary of a Madman, which not really is a ballad. Though let's see here. Ordinary Man is considered a ballad, the one he did with Elton John. Goodbye to Romance, Mama I'm Coming Home, So Tired from Bark at the Moon with the full orchestra. There's a one called, let's see here. I don't consider No More Tears a ballad. You're No Difference, no, not really a ballad, or a Black Rain or Time. I think Time at, I'm not too sure if it's a ballad or not. Remember hearing that song a long time ago. Oh,
Time,
wait a minute.
time after
What? Whoa,
time
whoa,
after
whoa,
time,
whoa. That's
time after
Cyndi
time,
Lauper.
time after time. I would,
Google,
Brian.
Google.
You're on a Chinese website. Go to American. Go to X or something.
I'm on Google right now. It says here, and it has Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper. They made a mistake, not me. The fuck, dude? Idiots.
People are
Jeez.
people are calling you Mick Jagger in the chat. You find that as a compliment?
I'm not concerned about that. Hey, but then again, the Mick Jagger is an icon.
Thank you.
If my hair was longer, they'll probably start calling me Ozzy. I got the round glass sunglasses to help add to that.
Thank God. It's hard to find too. So they obviously don't,
Yeah, Google screwed up, obviously, there, as we could see there. Ozzy ballads. I'm like, come on. Google, get your shit together, okay, bro? Jeez. But the most recognizable ballad that Ozzy did was, of course, Mama, I'm Coming Home, next to Goodbye to Romance. And the one I mentioned, So Tired from Bark at the Moon, with a full orchestra. Look up the video for that one as well, Wire. Definitely.
Yes.
Right.
What was on Ultimate Sin? The songs, any songs that you liked off there?
Yes, there was well, let's see, there was the title cut, which Lizzie Hale did a good cover of at the Sabbath tribute show. There was also Secret Loser, which was later featured in the movie called The Wrath, I think it's called, which featured Charlie Sheen. And also, Thank God for the Bomb. And there's, I know the last one's like Never, Ultimate Sin studio album there. Let's see here. All right, Wikipedia, black track listing, blah blah blah. Let's see here. Coming to son of a bitch. Why is it doing this to me, man? Come on, dog. All right, there. There you go. Eighth out. It was the fourth studio album by Ozzy Osbourne. It would be the last album to feature Jakey Lee on guitar and the first to feature drummer Randy Castillo, and the only album to feature bass player Phil Soussan, who co-wrote the album's hit single "Shot in the Dark." It was awarded platinum status in May of 1986 and awarded double platinum status in October of 1994 by the RIAA. And Ozzy had just came out of rehab earlier that year. Actually, he went to rehab in a year prior to that. And says here the song. Okay, here's a track listing: Ultimate Sin, Secret Loser, Never Know Why, Thank God for the Bomb, Never. That's on side one. Side two is Lightning Strikes, Killer Giants, Fool Like You, and the hit single Shot in the Dark.
Uh-oh, Brown, we forgot to do the track listing for Bark at the Moon, I think.
Oh yeah,
Which is the
yes,
first Jakey Lee album. My bad. That's my mistake.
It's okay there. Well, the first I had that on cassette as well. The side one was Bark at the Moon, You're No Different, Now You See It, Now You Don't, Rock and Roll Rebel. Side two was Center of Eternity, So Tired, So Down, and Waiting for Darkness. And
Brown, you're Brown. Can you admit right now to the 75 watching? Are you a mark for Dave?
no, and
Well,
it's a 60.
a mark is another word for a fan, in my opinion. Would you say that, or
Well,
more of like,
well, but if you, but the way you're saying it a few times, it's like, I'm a big, but then again, I'm also a fan of Foulmouth's Network as well, as a fan of your material as well, dude.
thank you. Well, Joe Cronin is our number one source for wrestling. But look, I do watch a lot of, um, I watch a lot of Shanju. And
All
this
right,
look this summer slam this weekend might be canceled. It's outdoors, blah blah blah. So everyone subscribe to Joe Cronin Show for all your pro wrestling updates, news, rumors, and subscribe to Sean's View, man. But Brown, so like, do you like the Ultimate Sin? Or, well, how many? Real quick, how many albums was Jake Keeley on with Ozzy?
just two,
Okay,
the
so
ones that we mentioned.
just Ultimate Sin and just being the fourth, and
Bargain,
the third would be Bark of the Moon. So, what album do
correct.
you and I had the Bark of the Moon um, T-shirt.
I see there. Nice.
Now, what is your favorite songs? What about Bark? Like, well, out of all the four we mentioned so far, was there like which one was the most popular? Was there like big talk about it on radio, or all four of them were big talk on radio and advertised and everything? Like, or was just the first couple ones was like at that time when these albums were coming out, like what was, Ozzy was still number one, everyone he was popular, blah blah blah, or it kind
Yes,
of went
he was
down,
number one. He was definitely a lot more number one more than Black Sabbath was because Sabbath at that time were going through their lead singer disputes. Dio had just left. They brought in Ian Gillan for that one album and tour. It's like they had to also get another drummer just as well. They were going some problems, most definitely. In fact, I remember one local radio station had a little thing, the little contest, who's going to win, Ozzy Osbourne or Black Sabbath. And of course, obviously at that time, Ozzy won because apparently Ozzy had that edge that Black Sabbath still needed.
where wait, when did he shave his head?
Oh
Do you remember
man!
that?
Yes, I remember. Apparently, what it was, there were two reasons for he did that. One was because the bleaches, the gels he had to put in his hair was causing his hair to turn into straw. And
Really?
plus he was because around 82, 83, around that time, he was putting his hair was dyed a lot more blonder. It was a lot more poofed out there. It was kind of looked like an 80s rocker around that time. Remember, that was the thing that heavy metal acts had to do. Like they had to have hairspray, have it out to here, poofed out. And when you think about it, Ozzy had to, of course, had to follow along with that as well. Unlike the hair that he would have years later, where it was just straight and long and left alone in its natural color. But back then, Ozzy had dyed his hair a lot more blonder. You see it in the early music videos for Ultimate Sin, the Speak of the Devil concert video with Brad Gillis in it. And another reason he shaved his head, for I remember hearing, is because he was pissed off at the record label for wanting to release the concert in Toronto with Randy as Speak of the Devil. And Ozzy was like, no, I'm not going to cash in on the dear friend who just left us. But then again, that's how record
Wait,
companies are.
so only two albums with Jake Ely. So what
Mhm.
happened? Like, was it like a share? Because he wanted more money? Was it yes? Or
I'm not too sure what it was because, but I think on the Bark of the Moon album, also the songwriting credits were listed as Ozzy Osbourne, nothing else. All songs written by Ozzy Osbourne. And I highly question that because we never saw Ozzy play any instrument other than the harmonica that which he did for the Wizard. And when asked about it, Ozzy said, "I write with my voice." Now, keep in mind, Ozzy is dyslexic. So Geezer
Listen,
Butler
dude.
had to write all the
I
lyrics.
I got with it not like Merc. So up
Your
and
voice is cutting out, dude.
it's brother. Can you hear me?
I think, no, your voice cut it out a couple times.
And hello.
Hello, I
Can you
hear you now.
hear
Yep.
me, brother?
Yes, I hear it loud and clear. And also,
So
Bob
saying,
Daisley.
so
And also,
I was,
well, hold on.
I mean, Cat, go ahead.
Yeah, Bob Daisley wrote many of the lyrics on those two first solo records that he did. So much kudos and credit to him as well. The man should have been there at the Back to the Beginning show just as well because he contributed a lot, as well as the late Lee
There,
Kersler.
there, there is room that
You're
gonna
cutting out
be
again, dude.
easily testing. Hello.
Your voice is cutting out again, dude. Speak. Hello?
Is it better? Can you hear me now?
Yes, a lot better. No.
All right. So, there is rumors that Bob Daisley is going to be in a group um, with Iommi, like
Mm.
in a studio. A studio. Do they still work together that you know of?
Uh, Bob Daisley and Tony Iommi.
Yes, because Iommi is kind of active. Um, he does like. Have you seen? You know what I'm talking about? Studio
I
wise,
know,
not live.
I know that Iommi did something with British singer Robbie Williams on one song.
Yo, who's Suga from BTS, Brown?
BTS, Sugar,
Yeah, Suga.
BTS.
Suga. Someone says you look like them. It's your hair, bro. You have good hair.
Yeah, it's, BTS. I think if you're referring to that K-pop group from North Korea,
Yeah,
please,
look up the look now. Look up and see what they react to it, Brown. For the 1,000 people
let me
watching right now,
see,
react to it. Let's see.
Sugar,
August D, Cousin It,
BT.
Night Flight. All y'all subscribe to this channel because we go live every week and give y'all all the rock news and everything updates. We go to concerts, film them, blah blah blah.
I
Um,
see what you're talking about here. It's kind of like a similar to his, but his hair is more straight. Mine is wavy.
uh,
But I see where he's coming from now. Shit, many times when my hair was still long, it was either Howard Stern, Alice Cooper, or Ozzy Osbourne, Slash, Gene Simmons. And when it was shorter after moving to Texas, it was like either Roger Waters or Kevin Bacon. One time at the castle, somebody mistaken me for David Lynch, the film director.
David Lee Roth.
Yeah, actually, my hair is better than what he has it nowadays. Because remember, he cut his way short.
All right, so we're gonna go to album number 5. What was that? Oh, I think he's taking a break. Uh-oh. We're gonna go to album number 5, which I have no idea what that album is, and I don't know if this is when Zach Wild comes in. I don't
Yep. Well,
know
no rest
what's
for the
out.
wicked.
So Brad Gillis never played on any albums.
No, he was brought in as a fill-in after Randy's
Oh my
death.
God. Okay.
Bernie Torme was also a fill-in as well after Randy's passing, but he didn't last so long. He actually did a few gigs before Brad Gillis came in the picture, and this would give Gillis the boost he needed for his band Night Ranger. But going back to No Rest for the Wicked, which another was one of my favorites, killer songs on that album. Miracle Man, which was written about Jimmy Swaggart and what he did. who, by the way, also passed away a couple of months ago. Devil's, let's see here, Devil's Daughter is the second one. Crazy Babies is the third track. And Breaking All the Rules closes side one. Bloodbath in Paradise starts off side two. That song's about Charles Manson and the Manson family doing what they were doing. Fire in the Sky, and of course, Tattoo Dancer, and of course, Demon Alcohol, which is something written from the alcohol's perspective. And there was this one unlisted track originally called Hero. I guess the reissues and remaster editions of this album finally include the title of that last track on there as well. That album is badass. If you ever see it, YR, fucking get it.
We got to watch language on the channel, please, brother. Well, did you even? I mean, like when Zach Wild came in, did you even did you hear about? Did you know who the hell this guy was? Was there a backstory
Not
to
really.
him?
Not really, but I do know that he was a badass of a shredder, without any question. He came up with a lot of. He's the one that do. I guess you would call it. You talked about that a few times. He was definitely good on that.
Yes.
He is still good on it today. I mean, he would also. He will also do a No More Tears. He also contributed to Osmosis. And he contributed to other albums, like I guess Scream being one of them from 2010, if I remember.
And that's not his name either. Like his name's Jeff. Like Ozzy gave him that name. Did you know that?
Zach Wild. Let's see.
Jeff from Jersey. He's from New Jersey. Like Eddie Trunk knows him. Eddie Trunk knew him before. He was Zach Wild.
No, his full name is Zachariah Philip Wild.
Maybe he had another name like Jeff or something.
No, I don't think Ozzy ever had a name like Jeff. Probably a little nickname there.
Who?
Zach Wild.
Now, what was your nickname?
My nickname? I never really had a nickname.
They used to call you Carlos Correa?
What? What the hell are you talking? His name is. I looked it up on the Wikipedia. You're right there. I'm corrected. Jeffrey Phil Wieland.
Jeffrey Epstein. No.
You dork. Yeah. That's his real name. That is his real name. Born in 1967, and he's best remembered for his work with Ozzy, Black Label Society, Zach Sabbath, which you saw, Zach Sabbath.
Yo, there was probably in the year 2004 or 2005, maybe it was 2005, but there was a Black Label Society song that they played on the radio. And back then, the radio was, everyone listened to the radio still and stuff. It's still the mid 2000s. Bro, they played this song. Oh, it was a great song. I can't remember it, but it was like great. I don't know if you know. Maybe they had like ones. I don't know. Listen, 93 watching. Brown, can you say something? Can you type in the chat so people know, direct you to your channel, and you could tell them about your DJ sets?
I already did put the link earlier.
You said something in the chat?
I just
in
put
my
the
chat,
link
in the YouTube chat here. In the YouTube chat here.
I just did, yes. I did. That's my link. I just put in there to my channel for anyone to check out.
I can't find it.
I don't know why, dude. I don't know why.
I don't see it. Can you do it again?
I just did seconds ago.
No, the last person who in the YouTube chat here, Brown. Not.
I just did. I just did. It's right there right now.
Nothing. Well, I don't see it. Let me see.
Yep, I just put it before. I don't know why it's not doing it. I don't know. Try this again. I don't know why it's doing this. I don't know why it's.
Dang. Nothing. Night Flight 5 says nothing.
I know. I noticed that myself.
Try it again.
Okay, one more time. And same thing. There you go. That's how it's done.
Well, it's not showing.
I don't know why it's doing that. I wish I knew. I don't know why. Give me a minute. What's going on here? Right there. While I'm doing this, go ahead and talk wire for a bit.
Well, I don't have the list. What are you doing?
What the list? What are you talking about?
What are you doing? Are you busy?
Right now, I'm trying to get my link into the YouTube chat of your channel right now. I don't know why
Well,
it's doing this.
just type something. Just write something and see if that goes through.
I'm trying to right now.
I don't think you can send links in the chat anyway. It doesn't let you. So
Okay, let me find it. Try this again through my other phone here. Okay.
and then I'll post it to the top, your channel at least, and so they can know where to.
Hmm.
Ozzy and Randy meets again. DP in the chat. Night Flight 5.
Yeah, they were.
Um,
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were united. They did. Or that should work now. Hopefully. All right there. All right there. No, still hasn't come in yet. I don't know why it's doing that.
Yo, is did Dave or Danny? Did Danny want to come on, or did you just want him
I
to come
sent
on?
him. I sent him a link, and I guess
Oh, okay.
I sent him the link on Messenger, on Discord Messenger. I think Dave is kind of busy at the moment with his work. He said he may
Oh,
be
okay.
yeah, because he has a
Uh,
job, you know. Go
what
ahead.
about? I want to hear from Getty Lee, bro. Like Getty Lee, what you come in here? I want to ask him about. I
Yeah,
don't even
Getty.
think, but we're gonna
Yeah,
go on
Getty.
to so the album after the first Zach Wild album.
Hmm. No rest for the wicked.
Yes, and then what was the one after that?
Well, No More Tears from 1991. That's the one with Mama, I'm Coming Home, the title cut, Hellraiser, Zombie Stomp, and The Road to Nowhere. And that was a big ass album. There was the title cut, Mama, I'm Coming Home, and of course, The Road to Nowhere. Those are big tracks, most definitely. They were all over the radio, they were all over MTV, you name it. They were everywhere, those songs. And that
That
was supposed
probably.
to have been. Go ahead.
Well, okay, so I would have to say that besides um, what was the second album again?
No More Tears that he did with Zach.
No, no. What's the second album? The second Ozzy solo.
Diary of a Madman from
So,
1981.
everyone, a lot of people are saying like that's their favorite number one, but like I would have to say a number two would be what you just mentioned, which was No More Tears, correct?
Yes. Mhm.
Would you agree with that? So that would be a second
Well,
of people's favorites of his solo collection.
actually, people are saying all the time it is usually a Blizzard of Oz that's considered one of the top favorites.
Really? But it's really
Yeah,
like you
because
put go down the listing and it's songs and like a
because
lot
of
of
the
stuff
two
that gets
three main
overplayed.
songs.
You
Yeah,
know?
but then again, that's mostly the mainstream, regular casuals that are saying those things. Remember, we got casuals out there who only know Crazy Train. I don't know, Mr. Crowley, Goodbye to Romance.
So you're
But
saying
yet,
there's people that are really putting the first two albums in their top two over No More Tears, not being in that second spot.
pretty much, I've
So
seen
then
them.
you would
Plus, there are a lot of polls on YouTube that I see this occur on.
well, what where's No More Tears in your opinions?
Well, I would have to say No More Tears have to be up there in terms of mainstream success. It'd be a big one, more bigger than The Ultimate Sin because of the amount of plays the songs that I mentioned got on the radio and on the old MTV. But all in all, No More Tears was multi-successful without any doubt. All right.
All right, so did you do the track listing on No More Tears, right? And
Let
you,
me look on. Let me look it up there. And by the way, here's something else I want to bring out. It was around that time Ozzy announced it was going to be his farewell tour because of a misdiagnosis. Apparently, some doctor that Ozzy and Sharon went to misdiagnosed him with having multiple sclerosis. And then the record label got involved during the midst of that tour and said, get a second opinion from another doctor. And lo and behold, he was misdiagnosed by the first doctor. So, but at the same time, they had to continue with this farewell tour because obviously you don't want to lie to your audience. He even said in an interview, you cannot give Americans bullshit. So, a couple years after the end of that tour, which ended with the Costa Mesa show with reunited with Black Sabbath since Live Aid, plus with Black Sabbath with Judas Priest, you may remember me telling you about those two performances around that year, 1992. And a couple years later, Ozzy decided to go back on the road. He called it the properly titled Retirement Sucks Tour. And that's when Osmosis came out with that song Perry Mason.
and that was basically like the second. That was like the new version of Mr. Crowley. Would you agree with that?
The new version, Perry Mason.
Yeah, it's like the new. It's like a newer take on Mr. Crowley.
No, no.
Yeah.
I think
What?
no, I don't think
Kind of
so.
like how,
No.
kind of like how Metallica did the Unforgiven 1, 2, and 3. Except obviously it's not the same name, but it's like a second iteration of Mr. Crowley. It's like part two, basically, of Mr. Crowley, but in the '90s newer version. You
Mhm.
never heard of that? Like people saying that?
Yes, I have. Yes, I heard all three versions of The Unforgiven.
Thank
And
you. No.
okay, then. I have heard it. But Perry Mason is a different is a different version. It's kind of different. Let me read you the lyrics.
But it's similar to Mr. Crowley though, Brown, and it has that organy,
It's a
right?
synthesizer keyboard, yes.
Synthesizer y key, yeah, like
Yeah, but it's not Mr. Crowley number two. Let me read you the first line of lyrics.
go ahead,
On
go
his
ahead.
way to on his way to dinner, when it took him by surprise, with one pull of the trigger, he would vanish overnight. Dancing by the roadside, holding on to dear life, then a gun out of nowhere made a widow of his wife. I don't mind single file down the runway, feeling fine, and I'll see you, my friend, over and over again. Who can we get on the case? We need Perry Mason. Someone to put you in place, call him Perry Mason. Running painted houses, all the kids, they love it so. You see it on their faces, how they love the wind to blow. Minding my own business, like my mama always said, if I don't try to help them, you could wind up on the front page. That song has a law and order theme to it when you
You
listen to
think
the
like
lyrics.
when like in the '90s and other, obviously the Osbourne family shows and stuff. You think like when Ozzy started getting sober and stuff, like you think he like started openly supporting obviously laws and police. Like you feel like he was like on the right, like Republicans and everything. You think he was?
I'm not too sure about his political views or his viewpoint of law enforcement, but he did mention something interesting about the O.J. Simpson trial, and this is 100% fact. While everybody was focused on the O.J. trial being broadcasted every single day on the E-Net Entertainment Channel, all the shows, all the little books, people were forgetting that these were two victims who are now dead. Two children of OJ's who will never see their mother ever again. These are two people buried in the ground. One of them butchered all to hell. Ron Goldman. Here's two kids who will never see their mother, Nicole Brown Simpson, ever again. And people are looking over that particular fact because everyone's so focused on the trial of the century. Is he guilty? Is he not guilty? Did he do it? The glove that he was wearing. Did he actually do this? The story about AC Callens, this and that. Cato Caitlin, the house gets what he heard. Faye Resnick, or what she described in her memoirs and stuff. Like it was
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
nonstop.
whoa, 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 whoa! We need to rewind because I saw a clip and I didn't click on it. But like, was there someone that committed suicide due to an Ozzy Osbourne song and all that? Ozzy spoke on that. Was that an
Yeah,
open
dude.
news?
Yeah,
Was that?
so that was open news in the 1980s. Some kid listened to the song "Suicide Solution" and apparently ended his life because of it. Apparently, but even though the song was written about Bon Scott, the singer of AC/DC, who reportedly drank himself to death. It was a response to his death. That song was, but some kid drank, apparently ended his life after listening to the song, and I guess the parents took Ozzy to court, thinking that the song made the kid kill himself. Hence, one of the lines on the song, "Suicide is the only way out. Don't you know what it's really about?" And Ozzy apparently prevailed in that case. Now, a couple years later, the same thing would happen with another kid ending their life. Now, let me speak on this, and I mentioned this before. Yeah, we understand that you're feeling down. Understand that you're feeling depressed and you're overwhelmed with bullshit that's coming at you left and right. Suicide is not the answer. It is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Think about that. I mean, like, kids, don't do it. It's wrong. Remember the four people that were dear to me who ended their lives? One of them, my girlfriend, my uncle, and two of my buddies. Don't do it, kids. Seek help. Call 988 if you're feeling towards that realm. If you're feeling towards the point where you want to commit suicide, call the three numbers I suggested. Okay? Don't do it. But parents out there at that time, they were in the middle of this satanic panic bullshit. They were going after
Yes.
Ozzy, Sabbath, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest. The satanic panic caused by all these Christian groups, all these televangelists, these preachers, as well as parts of the media. They were adding it in just as well. Tabloid magazines. Come on. Come on. Well, are we supposed to know when we see the images of the album covers? Chances are the band didn't really appreciate the album covers. I do know that when Black Sabbath saw the gatefold of the first album with that inverted cross, they were shocked They were not too pleased. Be like, they even said it themselves. We never were devil worshippers. And the evil that we sang about was against it. Pronto. Listen to the lyrics, what those songs are actually about. But you know how some closed minded and tunnel visions most people are around that time. One of them was my own mom. Well, Black Sabbath are devil worshippers. And if that's so, then how come they had After Forever, which is a pro Christian song? And plus, they played Live Aid, helping to feed the world by playing that event. The original lineup, July 1985. Boom, they played that, did about 3 songs.
Yeah, you see that comment? Can you
Gee,
read the comment that Loki Slog 7?
no, what do you say?
I
What did he
highlighted
say
it.
here? All right, there.
His like his first 2 albums saved your life when he thought it was over. Did you ever go through
Yes.
that? Like, you hear about that, Brown?
Well, you know what? Music has helped me through a lot of things there, most definitely. I know that after my dad passed away, after seeing him pass away like he did, one of the first things I thought of was the song Islands by King Crimson. After we got home from the hospital, I picked up my guitar and started playing the chords from that. So in a lot of ways, music has helped many people get through some tough situations.
All right, what's the album after No More Tears?
Oh, Osmosis from
What was on?
1995.
Oh, we already went over that with Perry Mason, correct?
Yep, the
Okay,
song Perry Mason,
what
I
comes
Just
after
Want You.
Osmosis?
That would have to be, let me see here. Son of a go. List of Ozzy albums. I think,
Son of a name goat. Go ahead.
oh, there you go, there. I know you're learning that thing. I originally got that from Rowdy Roddy Piper, by the way. Okay. Okay. Osmosis came out in 1995. Let's see here. They're all just scattered all over the place here. They should go back. Down to Earth came back. It came out in 2001. Then 2007 we saw Black Rain with I Don't Want to Stop. Then Scream came out in 2010. And between and a couple years before, between Black Rain and Down to Earth was a covers release titled Undercover. Mm. And by the way, you should check out Ozzy's version of 21st Schizoid, 21st Century Schizoid Man by King Crimson. He covers that on that release, as well as, I guess, his version of the Beatles In My Life. And also check out Ozzy's cover version of John Lennon's How. Very interesting video. Has him walking around New York City carrying a bouquet of flowers, in which he lays down at the Strawberry Fields Memorial to John Lennon. Definitely check out that video, most definitely, folks.
Okay, what was after Osmosis?
The first was Back Down to Earth from 2001,
So
Undercover in 2005,
the album is called Down to Earth,
Down to
and
Earth, yes.
this was after. I mean,
Osmosis.
when does the Ozfest started coming out? Do you know what
That
year
was
the?
in that was in 1996.
Mm.
And that was his hard rock version of the Lilith. Remember, '90s was full of package tours left and right. Lollapalooza, Lilith Fair. Now we have Ozfest, which seemed to be doing, which pretty much did something for the heavy metal hard rock crowd. That became a yearly thing, just like the 2 festivals that I mentioned as well.
So
And that's what
no, really like that 2001 album and the 2000 album, 2005 album. or to
Hmm.
that whatever the other. Well, any songs that were known off those?
Yeah, I know that Down to Earth that had a thing called Down to Earth had let's see here. Let me look at this album here. There was a couple out there. Let's see. Let's see. Gets Me Through, Dreamer, which is his tribute to John Lennon. That I Never Had is another one. Junkie, Facing Hell, No Easy Way Out. You Know, Right Out of Time, and three more
Wait,
afterwards.
the Dreamer song came out in the mid 2000s?
Yes, it came out in 2001.
What?
It did, yes.
No.
Yes, the album it did, yes.
I'm just a dreamer. We dream our life away. That
Yep,
song?
that's it. Yep.
Really?
Yes,
Holy moly.
Rob Zombie directed the video for that song, and they did tour together. In fact,
That's
Marilyn
crazy.
Manson. In fact, one of the Oddfest lineup was Black Sabbath and Marilyn Manson together on the same bill.
That's wild. So he only released two albums in the 2000s?
No, he released a few others as well. Down to Earth, Undercover, Black Rain with I Don't Want to Stop, as well as The Almighty Dollar. That came out in 2007. Scream came out in 2010. And in 2000, somewhere around, he had Ordinary Man. There was Ozman Cometh, and well, he released a lot of stuff there. Most of them compilations as well. One of them is a box set titled Prince of Darkness. See You on the Other Side from 2019. The Essential Ozzy Osbourne from 2003. The Other Side of Ozzy. These are releases, I guess, are overseas, if I'm correct.
What's
Best
that
of
digging me
Oz. What?
cousin it in the chat says the digging me down song.
Digging Me Down. Hmm. Digging Me Down. I don't think I'm not too sure if I'm familiar with that song there. Oh yeah, Undercover was good. He did Mississippi Queen, Digging Me Down. Wow, interesting. Wow. Remember, Undercover was a covers album, which most bands have been doing for quite some time now, including Hailstorm and Duran Duran as well. Says here also Patient Number 9 came out in 2002. That was one of all these guest artists, including Iommi, as well as Jeff Beck. And before that, Ordinary Man came out, I guess, in 2000. What's fucking son of a bitch? Man, there's way too much here to go by. And they're all assorted, not listed one right after another. So my bad for that, folks. And these are stuff that I didn't even know existed.
What
Most likely.
well, how many is there like a list of how many guest appearances Ozzy made on songs?
Well, the only ones I remember was on Cole Chambers' cover version of Peter Gabriel's "Shock the Monkey," and plus, he sang back up on the Infectious Groove song called "Therapy," which came out around 1992. It was a funk rock type of thing, featuring members of Suicidal Tendencies. And I know that he sang on one song from Bill Ward's album, Ward One, along the way, which I highly recommend as well. And he also did a thing for Tony Iommi's solo record, which came out, I guess, in '99, if I remember, simply titled Iommi.
Shock the Monkey.
Yes. Cold Chamber featuring Ozzy Osbourne. Not too bad, but not too good, I would have to say. Peter Gabriel's original version was 20 times better. I'll be back in a second.
All right, folks. Lita Ford, Geddy Lee. Geddy Lee, why don't you make a guest appearance on here quickly? before we wrap the show. Everyone go subscribe to the Dr. Earl Brown channel. Subscribe to this channel. We're gonna go live every week, as we do for 4+ years, doing this weekly rock podcast, talking all the news and music and having fun topics. But we're definitely gonna stick on the Ozzy Sabbath mind frame for a while, for sure. Brown, did you? Well,
I'm
let's
back.
go. Let's quickly wrap it up. Like in the 2010s and up, how many
Yep.
albums did he release?
Well, let's see here. Albums in the from 2010. We know Scream was the one that came out in 2010. It says here 13 studio albums and a few live ones as well. More albums he did with them. Okay, let's see. Well, Down to Earth came out in 2001. Undercover came out in 2005. Black Rain came out a couple years afterwards, 2007. Screen came out in 2010. Ordinary Man came out in 2020. And Patient Number 9 came out in 2022, a couple years ago. If I understand, that album went to number one. And let's see here.
I think they're gonna. I think there's another album that they were gonna release before he
I think
passed.
yeah,
Coming
he
up.
was supposed to be. Yeah, I'm not too sure if they did any recordings yet of this new record. Remember, he was supposed to retire from touring, but continued to release new material. That was about it. But the last official album he did, Patient Number 9, and it went to number 3 here on the U.S. album charts.
All right, Brad. If you want to quickly plug your channel, tell them what you do on the weekends over there, and try to
Okay,
get
yes.
your try to comment in the chat again somehow.
I
Try it one more
tried many
time.
times. I tried many times. It's not coming out the way it should be there. I do not know why it does that. I do not know why it is like that, But unfortunately, what can I say? But I will say, look for my channel. It's the same title as the name of down here, Dr. Earl W. Brown. I do usually I do weekend techno sets and dark soundscape sets as well. But other than that, I usually do vlogs as well as other shows similar to this, which I got to start doing once again. I got to get a hold of a few people about doing shows one-on-one. I should probably get a hold of Foulmouth Ken to see if he's interested in doing a show with me sometime soon. I still want to do a show with Tommy at C 2010, most definitely. But then again, also look for my version of Music Maniacs.
stop being stuck in the past. Everyone's doing their own thing, and you know what I'm saying. We're doing our own thing here, and um, look, we do need to get your numbers up for the weekend DJ sets. So for the people
Yeah,
watching,
I
this
have.
guy does. I mean, it's at least 2 hours. Like, what's the time on these sets?
Well, it all depends how long the process goes. Sometimes it could go over about way over 2 hours, usually about 90 minutes. I try to keep it more than an hour.
And what is going to be the one for this weekend? Do you have a
I
topic
don't
on
know.
that yet?
Not so far yet. I haven't even conjured up anything yet, but most likely a short while after we're done with this show, I'll come up with something for sure, and I'll let you know in a post when this will be taking place.
Thank you. And
All
next
right,
week we're
good.
going to do the Sabbath albums.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to list all of them with Ozzy. So
As
everyone in the
well
chat,
as
get ready for that. Yes.
well, we're also doing the ones with the other singers as well. Dio, Martin,
We'll do
Gillan.
that the week after. We'll do that the week after with Space Them
All right,
Out. You know what I'm saying?
all
Keep
right,
it
good,
separate.
good idea. Okay.
So everyone in the chat, please subscribe to the Dr. Earl W. Brown channel, and please subscribe to
Yep.
this Music
Do so.
Maniacs
Yep.
2025 channel. Go live every week, every Thursday. Open panel, so you can click the link and join in. Talk about the rock news. Talk
Yes.
about the
Yeah, we got
topics.
to get some, definitely. And then
I
we'll
think.
see you all next week, folks.
Would you like to close out the show, Dr. B?
All right, there. Thank you very much. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to my channel as well. And stay tuned next Thursday evening for the next edition of Music Maniacs. Sabbath albums with Ozzy. We'll be ranking those most definitely. We'll see you all next week. Bye
Thank you,
bye.
brothers.
All right.